welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that are new, my name is Jackie, and in today's video I will be talking about becoming a teen mom. So I decided to split this topic up into 3 different parts, mainly because there are a lot of things that come into play in becoming a teen mom. And also, I don't want to make these videos too long. So for this first video, I will be talking about how I found out I was pregnant, what my reaction was, what were my feelings at the moment, and how I disclosed it to my mom. So basically, I got pregnant 1 month after I turned 17. I was a junior in high school, and I had it my senior year. So pretty much I missed my period. I never really thought too much about it though, because I thought it was late because I was always exercising and I was stressed out at the time. Literally every day after school I was at the gym. I was doing cheer tryouts, and I had been feeling so fatigued, like I was always sleepy. But like I said, I linked everything back to the exercise. I never really thought like, oh, I'm pregnant, you know. But then I noticed I started gaining weight, and it wasn't really like weight everywhere. It was just my stomach started looking weird, but it started looking fat. It wasn't looking pregnant. It wasn't like a baby bump. So my clothes started fitting tight, and I was like, why am I gaining weight? Like, I'm always at the gym. And yeah, so my friends would tell me like, why does your stomach look like that? Like when I would be in the locker rooms changing, and I'm like, I don't know, like I'm getting fat, dude. Like, and so my period was 10 days late. That weekend I decided to do a pregnancy test. So I did. My sister was with me in the bathroom when I did it. As soon as the first little line came back, that was the one that showed whether it was positive or not. As soon as it literally showed up, I gave the test to my sister and I started crying. Then I called my best friend and I told her, like, you know, I'm pregnant. And then I called the father of my child, and he's like, why? Like, I told him, like, you know, I'm pregnant. And he's like, why are you crying? Like, what do you mean, why am I crying? Like, I'm pregnant, I'm 17, I'm in high school. A baby was not a part of the plan ever. I didn't know what to do. Like, it was a shock to me. I was not ready for that. A baby was definitely not a part of the plan at all. Abortion, it is not something that in my heart I would be able to go through with it and just live okay. Personally, it goes against my beliefs and what I believe. Your body, your choice. You decide what you want to do with your body, and that's fine. I'm not with it. That's just me. I wouldn't be able to do that to a child of mine. I just feel like once a baby has a heartbeat, that's a life, and I am not God to take that away. That's my thinking. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has different beliefs, and I am for whatever you believe. You can do what you want if it's your body, but for me personally, I couldn't do it. And adoption, like, it wasn't even a logical option, because how am I going to carry this human for 9 months and then just give it off to somebody else? Now I realize, you know, I'm young, I'm in high school, I don't have a job, I haven't even graduated high school yet, and I don't know what to do. Like, I felt so lost and confused, and it was hard. And then disclosing it to my mom wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. I kind of just told her. I sat down with her and I told her, like, I have something to tell you. And then she's like, what is it? And so then I'm like, I'm pregnant. And she looks at me and she starts laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? Like, you know, she thought I was joking. I was like, why are you laughing? I'm serious, I'm pregnant. And then so yeah, so she didn't believe me, so I went to my room, got the pregnancy test. I did 2 just to make sure, and I showed them to her, and she was like, who did you pay to pee on the stick? like, Mom, I am 100% pregnant. I did not pay anybody to pee on no stick. I wouldn't be joking around about this. I feel like she didn't believe me only because she knew that that's not something I would have wanted at that moment. I wasn't prepared, honestly. But at the same time, sometimes I feel like we're never really prepared to be parents anyways. And I feel like everything happens for a reason, and God literally knew what he was doing when he gave me my son. I was in a really dark stage in my life at that moment, and I feel like God wanted to give me my son to better me and to better who I was at the moment and to help me grow. It was like a wake-up call, honestly, because my world made a whole 360 turn in a matter of 9 months and up to now, which he is 7 now. And so basically I went ahead. Obviously I decided, yes, I'm gonna keep this baby. My mom was super supportive. She's like, you don't have to worry about anything, like, you know, you're gonna continue to go to school. I wanted to get a job. She did not want to let me. She wanted me to focus on graduating high school, because, you know, it had been a struggle for me in high school the whole time. I was like a notorious skipper. I'm not proud to say that, but I was notorious for not going to school. And I still graduated on time though and everything. But, you know, so it was like a very big thing for me to graduate, obviously. And I had her support 100%. So I am forever grateful to my mom for that. Like, she's been the greatest support system for me. So into my pregnancy, things were never really good with like myself and the father of my child. I believe that everybody has their own differences, and I believe that sometimes we come across people that we are meant to meet, but they are not meant to be in our lives, for one reason or another. And so that's just that. I don't really have much to say about that situation. I am a single mom, so, you know, things don't work and it's for the best. And honestly, I can say that was for the best. Anyways, so throughout my pregnancy, I didn't feel like it was real. The first time he moved and I was able to see it, I cried. And I told my mom, I was like, Mom, my stomach's moving. Look, it just looked so weird to me. It was like so weird. It was such a weird feeling. And it was just so surreal. And then at 18 weeks, I had an appendectomy done. So they removed my appendix. I was 18 weeks pregnant. I still didn't know the sex of my baby at the moment. So it was like on a Thursday or Friday back in 2012. I came home from school. I was tired per usual. I took a nap, woke up, started throwing up, went back to sleep, and then again woke up, threw up, and then took a nap again. And it was just a cycle. And my stomach started hurting. So I called my doctor. My doctor told me to take some Pepto-Bismol to see if it helped, and it didn't. The pain just kept getting worse and worse and worse, and I just could not stop throwing up, and this pain was becoming unbearable, and I ended up in the ER. It took them 1.5 days to diagnose me with appendicitis. During that time frame, they were doing lab work. I had an ultrasound done, and I asked the tech, I was like, what is it? Like, is it a boy or is it a girl? And they were like, they haven't told you yet? I was like, no, I have my appointment this upcoming Monday. And I believe it was Saturday when I was getting that ultrasound done. And then she was like, okay, it's a boy. And ever since I found out I was pregnant, I just knew. I knew it was a boy. There was nobody taking that out of my mind that it was a boy. I wanted a girl so bad, but it's one of them things, like, if you want something so bad, it's not gonna happen because that's what you want. You're gonna get what you don't want. I mean, I wanted a girl super bad. I was dreaming about a girl, but because of all of that, I just knew, and I had a feeling in my heart that it was a boy. And when I found out that it was a boy, I was kind of relieved, because I feel like with girls, everything is just so much scarier. There's just so much more that you have to protect them from. I'm not saying that you don't have to protect a boy. You also do have to be very careful, because people in this world are crazy. But with a girl and just everything that I've gone through, I was just like, God knows best. And honestly, I feel like boys are more of like mama boys. My son is a total mama's boy. My son is the sweetest thing ever with me. Like, he is so sweet, and I am so blessed, honestly. So yeah, so back to the whole appendectomy stuff. I was 18 weeks. So then the doctor tells me, my diagnosis. He's like, you have to have this appendectomy done, because literally it's ready to burst. Like, and so, he's telling me the benefits, the risk, and all that, trying to get my consent. But he tells me, and he was very blunt, and I will never forget this at all. And I know many of you who do know me have seen that I call my baby a miracle baby, because he literally is a miracle baby. Like, he is a miracle. And I believe in miracles, and I believe in God, and God is good all the time. So he tells me, he's like, there's a good likelihood that the fetus won't make it. You're only 18 weeks. He said, but we have to do this, because we cannot bring you back if something happens to you, but you can always have another baby. Till this day, my blood boils, because how dare you tell someone? I don't know if he said it because I was 17 and I was pregnant, or he's just really ignorant as a doctor, because for your patients, you should be empathetic with them, and you shouldn't be harsh. I understand the risks. I understood that I was only 18 weeks pregnant, but the way he put it, like, you can always have another baby. I don't want to have another baby. Literally, that's what I said. Like, I want this baby, not another baby. What? How is that gonna solve anything? And so it was really hard, and I really tried to hold back my tears. My mom saw my face, and my friend, one of my best friends, was there. And when that doctor left, my tears literally came out, and I am getting emotional. Yeah. So I could not like fathom the thought that, like, I couldn't process it at the moment. I didn't want to go on with the surgery. I didn't care to have it. All I wanted was for my baby to be okay. I just couldn't deal with it at the moment. And my friend started crying. She bawled out. My mom was bawling out with me. And they were just grabbing my hands. And I was just in tears. And I was just crying. And it was crazy. Honestly, I didn't feel like a mother. Because you know how they always say, you're a mother since you find out that you're pregnant. Pretty much, you become a mother. I didn't feel like that throughout the first 17 weeks. 18 weeks hit, and when he told me that, my world, I felt like, came crashing down. So moving on, I go into the waiting area. They literally tell my mom, we don't know how we're gonna proceed to do this. We don't know if we're gonna do it laparoscopically. We don't know if we should just cut her open down vertically. They literally took me into the operation room not knowing what they were gonna do. They said that if they did it vertically and the fetus survived the surgery, it would be like pretty much, as my stomach would expand, it could be at risk for opening. They didn't know if they wanted to do an epidural or if they wanted to put me under general anesthesia. So what ended up happening is they put me under general anesthesia, and they ended up doing it laparoscopically. But they made like, I have like a little scar right here that's like the biggest one, and then I have like 2, 3, so in total I have 6 scars from the appendectomy. So they take me back to the operation room, and the last thing I remember was praying. And literally I was like, God, please, whatever you do, just make sure my baby's okay and protect him during this time. Like, that's all I could think about was the baby. Like, I was scared. Honestly, I was just scared. And so, okay, then once the anesthesia starts wearing off and they're done and everything, and they're taking me to the room, I remember waking up drowsy, and here I am trying to talk, and I'm like, how's my baby? And if you've gone under anesthesia, you know that it messes up your throat and you can barely talk. So I'm like, how's my baby? Like, you know, in a really soft, faint voice. And although I feel like I'm talking or trying to talk loud, it's just not coming out, and the nurse is not listening or hearing me. So I go back into the room. They take me to my room. I'm sleeping. It's 4 in the morning, and they wake me up to check me, check my vitals, check the baby. So the nurse comes in and she looks for a heartbeat. And this nurse's face really gave her up, in the sense that I could automatically tell something was wrong. Her face said it all to me. Usually, I don't know, most nurses are known for like having a poker face. This nurse's face told me everything. So she's looking for a heartbeat, and I see her face just becoming concerned. And I start crying. I'm like, is everything okay? And she's like, I can't find a heartbeat. She's like, I need to go get a doctor. Next thing you know, I have like 2, 4, 5 doctors in the room. They quickly put me on some oxygen. They left me on some oxygen for a little bit. They were trying to find a heartbeat. Still, they couldn't find one. My mom starts crying. I'm over here crying, trying to calm down. I couldn't calm down. And they took off the mask for a little bit, gave me some juice, and then they proceeded to look for a heartbeat. No heartbeat. And then stayed in the room for a little bit. Then they kept looking around for a heartbeat, and then finally they found a little heartbeat. But the heartbeat was so faint, and it was just like boom, boom, boom. And then I was like, okay. Like, I felt some kind of relief, but still not as much relief though, because you know, a baby's heartbeat is like boom, 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 boom. Like, their heartbeat is super fast. And so it was really faint, and it was slow. And so then the doctors told me, you need to breathe normally. And you need to breathe like you normally do. And I didn't want to, because it hurt so bad. I had just had surgery, and I had all these little incisions in my stomach. And so I had to splint my stomach to try to take in deep breaths, and it hurt so bad. But they were like, you have to do this for the baby. And so of course I did, but it was hard. I'm trying to tell you, that pregnancy, although my baby didn't give me no kind of symptoms, I was always just fatigued and sleepy, but I never had morning sickness, thank God. I had one heartburn the whole pregnancy. It was really, really, really bad heartburn. super bad heartburn. I cannot. But other than that, I literally had a smooth pregnancy except for that certain part of my pregnancy. And so when I say my baby is a miracle baby, my baby is a miracle, period. My son, and I truly believe this, my son is like my saving grace. He is my safe haven. He was sent to me for a reason, and throughout his 7 years of existence, I have seen why he was gifted to me by God. Because literally, if I wouldn't have had my son, I don't know where I'd be, and I don't know what I would be doing, and I don't know if I would even be like where I am today, honestly. Like, he is my saving grace. And he was sent to me to have hope for a better future. And I truly believe that. This pretty much sums up, you know, everything as far as how I found out I was pregnant, how I felt, and how I disclosed it to my mom. In my next video, I will be talking about the labor and delivery portion. And yeah, so I hope you guys liked this video. Go ahead and subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in my next video.